Hey there folks, it's Unlike Dragoon here from Canopy Gaming, and today we're going to show you how to make your own gardening tea that doesn't burn, feeds your plants, and makes them healthy and grow good. So stick around. We're first going to place down a few bricks to act as a sturdy base for our gardening tea. Followed by our garbage can container. In this case, I'm using a 30-gallon garbage can from Menards that costs about $7. Next, we're going to fill our container with city water from the hose, as we will need to dechlorinate the water before we can begin adding our ingredients. To do this, we'll be using a simple Tetra air pump rated for about 10 to 30 gallons, 8 feet of standard airline tubing, and a 5-inch aquarium bubble stone. I got these all from my local Walmart for just under $20. Assembly is pretty simple. We just need to take our bubble stone and connect it to our airline tubing, making sure that we push the tube as far as we can onto the bubble stone. The same goes for the other end of the air tubing too. Now, we'll want to keep the bubble stone at the bottom of our mixture so it keeps the liquid moving so it doesn't become stagnant. To do this, we'll need to weigh it down. At first, I thought I would be able to just loop the air tubing around the brick, but I did not take into account that my arms weren't long enough to securely place the brick at the bottom of the container without the tubing falling off. I instead tied the tubing to the brick with a length of strapping I had laying around that did the trick. And lastly, we'll cut a notch in our lid for our air tube to go so it doesn't pinch the line. And after leaving our water for 24 hours, there's no more chlorine in the water. Next, we're going to add our Alaska brand pure kelp plant food to the water, making sure to follow the directions on the label. In this case, I've written myself a cheat sheet on the container with the correct amounts to add per gallon. Next, we're going to add our Alaska brand fish fertilizer to the mix, making sure to read all the instructions first. I'd like to also point out here that this fish fertilizer has a very potent odor and will attract animals, specifically Scout my dog. So make sure to store it properly after using, then giving it a good mix with a PVC pipe I had laying around. Then we're going to add about 3 to 4 cups of our earthworm castings, as this will introduce all of those good bacteria to the mix to start multiplying, as well as additional nutrients for our plants. Next, we'll add an additional 4 to 5 pounds of compost and manure soil mix, as well as our last ingredient, molasses. This last ingredient will act as food for our bacteria to get a kickstart to begin multiplying. Then, we'll give it one last good stir to blend everything together. Place our bubble stone back in with the lid on and wait for 48 hours. After 48 hours, you should come back to something like this. Lastly, you'll want to take the mixture in any container and water your plants with it, about every 3 to 4 days. I hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully it helps you in your own garden. Thanks for watching.